So Wells Fargo has fired a bunch of employees after finding out how they were pretending to work.
Wow, that's funny. I heard about this. This is funny.
You heard about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
thought it
So
was slick.
yeah, so this is Yahoo. No, this is Fortune. So you can look it up. It's from Fortune. That's the headline. All right, so I'm gonna continue to read on. I just took it off the screen. I just wanted to show you that's where I got it from. It came across my desk and I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. A handful of bankers have been let go by Wells Fargo after the financial giant discovered the staff were simulating keyboard activity instead of actually working.
Yeah.
Translation: they bought one of them keyboard things and it'll keep moving so your phone, so your laptop won't go into standby, and then it'll make your if you're using Microsoft Teams or Zoom, like whatever chance Slack or whatever y'all using for the internal communication, it'll show that you're still like red, like it'll show that you're
Mhm.
still active versus inactive. But what people
Mhm.
don't realize is, and clearly what they didn't realize is, you do understand that like on the back end at a company, some of these companies, they have implemented things to where they can recognize unnatural patterns. And it looks like that was the case in this scenario. So let's keep going. The more than dozen employees were all in the firm's wealth and investment management team and were discharged after review of allegations involving simulation of keyboard activity, creating an impression of active work. Okay. Wells Fargo holds employees to the highest standard and does not tolerate unethical behavior, a company spokeswoman told Fortune. What the filing doesn't make clear is quite how the employees managed to fake their working day and for how long they got away with it. Whether or not the employees were in the office or working from home is not stated. We don't talk about that. Though the wider policy for Wells Fargo staffers is to be in person at least 3 days a week. So they kind of have a hybrid schedule. And so basically it's called the mouse jiggler.
Yep.
While Wells
That's
Fargo,
funny.
yeah, so while Wells Fargo, which is the third biggest bank in America, did not expand on how its staffers simulated quotes, quotes, open quote, close quote, working, there are many techniques and technologies available. So man, yeah, man, let's, I think that's good. It's going on and on and on about people doing that, and they talk about hybrid and they, collaboration, and they're going on and on about some stuff. Last thing I'll say
Right.
here, last summer, Human Resource Chief Jacqueline Arthur said, while there is flexibility when needed, we are simply reminding our employees of our existing policy. We have continued to encourage employees to work in the office 5 days a week. That was coming from Goldman Sachs in the same boat of having to repeatedly remind employees that they need to be in the office 5 days. Dang, that's a lot. Okay. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so they was referencing Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and they just kind of, because I guess being in the bank space, they was talking about overall Wall Street mandates. And so, if you're in Wall Street, a lot of those companies are required to be in the office a little bit more frequently. So anyway, they was just talking about that. I just was recapping it. So I want to open it up to you, transitioning from what we just talked about. And do you notice any potential parallels of like folks in this scenario?
Man, I think I saw some discussion on this post, or just not on this post, but just in general on social media saying, I really saw a lot of people kind of defending them, saying like, man, it shouldn't matter. You should just focus on productivity and blah blah blah. And I could definitely understand that take, but as, as someone who's worked and I know you work remote, and I've worked kind of a hybrid before, where I didn't have to go in every single day. I could work from home if I wanted to. You know how lazy you got to be to not be able to reach over every 10, 15 minutes and just to the mo like I feel like you done went too far when you bought a mouse jiggler. You know you being slick. So like, why we not? We should focus on productivity, man. You out here trying to steal time, steal a paycheck, man. You tripping. Like,
You know, yeah. Fake working and mouse jiggling. Well, to your point, like if you go take some money and you like make a purchase for a mouse jiggler, that's a problem in itself, is because of your intent. Like
mm,
you're like genuinely not operating in good faith. Like, and it mentioned unethical. I'm not the moral police. I'm not even, but like there is no way you could talk about leveling it up, giving things the best that you got at the time. And even sometimes you miss the mark even trying to give it your best, but that's all you had. And that's where there's opportunities for growth. But like you are intentionally, like, to your point, stealing time or wanting to do less and get a check still, like from someone else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a company that's paying you. So like, man, get that company their time, man. Like,
yeah,
don't do that. Like, come on, man. Like that's not even something that high performers would do. Or if you
yeah.
are have to becoming a high performer and you're rising through the ranks, like think about the mentality. I've never met a high performer that ever considered doing something like that.
They wouldn't want to
We
risk
never
it.
even had those conversations like, hey man, yeah, or whether it's a dude I'm talking to, or a young lady, or whatever. Like, guess what I got? I got a mouse chick. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
Got them jigglers.
Like, what we doing? Like, come on, man. Like, you're gonna end up with the GoFundMe like the last situation, because you're gonna get fired, but not only
Yeah,
get fired, because of the justification on you getting fired, because like some people when they get fired, they usually end up potentially getting a severance, or like unless it's something egregious that you did, they usually get a severance, or at least like this will only need to be a temporary thing until you can get on your feet, and hopefully you can just transition and get something else. But I know sometimes it takes a little bit longer because some people will get on unemployment, but you do understand if the company reports that you had a mouse jiggle and you was stealing company's time, you ain't getting that unemployment. Not that I'm like, not that I'm perpetuating or like promoting unemployment or anything like that, but hey, it's a part of it. Like, if something happens with your career, then get the unemployment or whatever, and then you keep, but hurry up and get off of it, because that can be a drug to where, you know,
right.
anybody in the room with you. All right, so yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I was gonna say something real reckless. I ain't gonna do that. But but yeah, man, just don't do that, man. Like, think about in your relationships, if you just like think about it, like, I'm gonna go over here and like go to the strip club, like without her knowing. Like, like it's just not the right thing to do. Like, and I ain't perfect by any of that, but like, come on, man, the mouse jiggler, like,
Tripping.
like company know that you ain't working a full 8 hours, but like the fact that you're using a mouse jiggler, they like, I'm gonna tell you what probably end up happening. People trying to contact you and reach you. So you probably using the mouse jiggler, and you way off, like you ain't even by your laptop. Like the mouse is jiggling. The mouse is jiggling, and you done got in your car, you way somewhere else,
You at Starbucks down the street.
somewhere doing something else. So like, and so they like, okay, people can't find you, you MIA, the multiple reach outs, maybe it's a client or something that you're supposed to be helping out, or people trying to call you and it's during work hours, it ain't lunchtime, or like something different is happening about your behavior patterns that made people come and check for you. Because a lot of times folks ain't checking for you until like they need to check for you, and then they start looking at the analytics and data like, ah, okay, I
Yeah.
see what's going on here. Because they can also see like if you're I don't know how in depth they go because I'm not a tech person, but I can imagine they can also probably see like what different things like are you opening up different tabs? Are you or is it just on this one static thing and it's just like the jiggling like and it's just you doing just enough to keep it from going to standby to take you on inactive, but you're not like opening up Outlook or sending an email or like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not like researching something like you know what I'm saying? Like that's so much energy that the fact that you gotta like put so much energy into getting over, why not just redirect that energy into the company? And then when you get off work, work on something on the side. And if you don't really want to be at work and you don't want to be there, don't be there. Like go do something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't go do
Right.
something else. Or like if this is a temporary thing, let it be a temporary thing, still give them their time because you need that flow of income for right now. And then you just be seriously intentional about okay, I'm got to build this thing over here because this ain't my forever situation. I'm gonna throw them the deuces as soon as I get this rolling the way I needed to roll. That ain't nothing wrong with
Right.
it. Or you like, you know what? I'm gonna run it up. I'm gonna do this, but then in my spare time, I'm gonna be building this over here. And you like, I'm getting both. I'm getting all the bags until it just don't make sense no more. But like that's how someone. But in terms of like fumbling the bag, that is like an epic fumbling the bag.
That's not fumble. You know when they dive for the end zone, but they drop it so it's touchback. Nah, they touchback. They didn't even fumble.
Hey, that remind me of you remember that Ravens game? It reminded me of that
Yeah.
Ravens. Well, I don't. Well, I don't want. I don't want to. I don't want to do that to. I don't want to do that to the Ravens and the person that it was that was involved because they were at least trying to win. Like
Yeah.
they
True.
were operating good intent, right? So it maybe I don't want to put them like that. But to your point,
That's celebrating, but you dropped it before you walked in. Nah.
there you go. But yeah, man. But I think I done beat it with a dead horse. But like, come on, guys. Like, let's not do that. Like,
I,
let's be
I
better than
think
that. No
I think
victim
we can go to
mentality. Don't have a victim mentality and don't be trying to steal like because when you do stuff like this and then you get fired, and then you don't get no severance, you don't get no, you're not eligible for unemployment. With the part that they left out from, hey, I need help. They didn't tell you what they did leading up to what got them in the position that they in, and it was like crazy self-inflicted. Don't get it twisted where like something that someone couldn't control and something just happened out like I need help. That's different. Like let's push that aside because everyone could use some help sometimes. Like if like unforeseen things happen, let's move that aside for the person that did have control and they was operating this way and then they put themselves in a bad situation. That's what we talking about. You on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like I said, we're not the moral police or nothing. We're not, Mr. Good and Evil and all that. But I think something that we can look at Uncle Dave, Mr. Dave Ramsey. He got a quote that I really like in terms of business ethics when he says, and if you're wondering if it's right or not, switch places with the employer and pretend like you're the boss. And how would you feel about the situation? Like, would you want that to happen? And so, just imagine you run a small business and you find out your employees they get their mouths is getting jiggled while they're somewhere getting a manicure pedicure. Like, man, I'm firing the whole staff and starting over. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, man, the practical thing in that is just operating a good intent. People know for the most part, you usually aren't working a full 8 hours. Just be open, be transparent. I know, like for me, I'm like, hey guys, I'm about to go run some errands. I'll be back. I'll see y'all when I get back. If somebody looking for me, I'll see y'all when I get back. Or hey, I gotta go take care of something for the wife. I'll be back. If for I'll be off for a few hours, but I'll be back. Or whatever. Like just be open and keeping it real with your team, and and like usually you can work through it. All right, moving on. Moving on. Switching gears. All right, so